Hey, welcome back to Infinite Jeff, the project where I, Jeffrey, I'll read the book Infinite Jest to you, one page at a time, one day at a time. Although I have been slacking on that lately, but I'm catching up so that I can catch up, and then I will be caught up on Tuesday. This is page 321. Here we go. Eggs, so his child becomes weak and sick. Is the rich man who cries, "Freedom, the good father?" Steeply made four small noises. Excitement of some belief made the American's electrolysis little pimples of rash redden even in the milky dilute light of loom and low stars. The moon over the mountains of Rincon was on its side, its color the color of a fat man's face. Morath could believe he could hear some young USA voices shouting and laughing in a young gathering somewhere out on the desert floor below, but saw no headlights or young persons. Steeply stamped a high heel in frustration. Steeply said, "But U.S. citizens aren't presumed by us to be children, to paternalistically do their thinking and choosing for them. Human beings are not children." Morath pretended again to sniff. "Ah, yes, but then you say, no," Steeply said. "No, you say, not children. You say, what is the difference, please? If you make a recorded pleasure so entertaining and diverting, it is lethal to persons. You find a capable copy and copy it and disseminate it for us to choose to see or turn off. And if we cannot choose to resist it, the pleasure, and cannot choose instead of to live, you say what your Fortier believes, that we are children, not human adults like the noble Quebecers. We are children, bullies, but still children inside, and will kill ourselves for you if you put the candy within the arm's reach." Morath tried to make his face expressive of anger, which was difficult for him. "This is what happens. You imagine the things I will say, and then say them for me, and then become angry with them. Without my mouth, it never opens. You speak to yourself, inventing sides. This itself is the habit of children. Lazy, lonely, self. I'm not even here, possibly, for listening to." Unmentioned by either man, it was how in heaven's name either man expected to get up or down from the mountainside shelf in the dark of the USA's desert's night. I imagine that Morath, since he's Quebecer, he probably should be like, "This is what happens. You imagine things I will say, and then say them for me, and then become angry with them. Without my mouth, it never opens. You speak to yourself, inventing sides. This itself is the habit of children, lazy, lonely, self. I'm not even here, possibly, for listening to." I mean, it'd be fun to do it like that, but like that's not a great accent, and he's Quebecer, so it sounds a little different than that anyway, because that's probably more French. But, so. We have a section break at the Half Moon Guy. It says 8th November, year of the Adult Undergarment, Interdependence Day, Gaudeamus Igitur. Every year at ETA, maybe a dozen of the kids between maybe like 12 and 15. Children in the very earliest stages of puberty and really abstract capable thought. When one's allergy to the confining realities of the... Yeah, that's page number 321. That's all 15 pages that I'm reading today. Took about an hour-ish, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. The fucking Feeling Is Awake wasn't that fun. The Infinite Jeff I liked. I liked reading Morath's parts with the French, where I say it with my American accent, but with the French kind of maybe haltingness, cadence, and phrasing of, I mean, the phrasing obviously is chosen by Wallace, but I'll give you some context. I haven't done an update in a while because I just haven't felt like it, but I feel like it today. It's January 8th, the year of our Lord 2021, and it's 4:57 p.m. And it's been a long day. Opened yesterday, which means I have to be to work at 5:30. I have to be up at about 4:30 and be to work. I start at 5:30 in the morning. And I'm never on that schedule So I never get a lot of sleep. So even last night, when I was tired, falling asleep playing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag for the Switch, which is the third time I bought that particular game, I was falling asleep playing that, So I fucking kind of shut my eyes with the lights on. So it's this thing where, like, I'm tired, but I don't want to go into sleep mode. And I'm also, like, so tired I don't want to get up and, like, disrobe and shit. So I'm laying in bed, in my pajama pants and my robe, and I'm just kind of laying there with my eyes shut. I guess you could call it resting your eyes if you wanted to differentiate that from napping or sleeping. So I'm there resting my eyes for probably, I don't know, it's hard to tell. I probably dozed off a bit there because that's always the kind of thing. I think I'm just laying there for a period of time, but it turns out I drifted in and out of sleep. So it's possible that it happened, but it wasn't like I fell asleep. The lights are on and shit. And my fan on to make noise, white noise, which I appreciate when I'm sleeping. And so, yeah. So I kind of lay in bed for maybe an hour, resting my eyes. And then around 8, I'm like, all right, let's get up, take a piss, and go to bed. Disrobe, because I don't generally sleep in my boxers. Unless it's super duper cold, which it isn't right now. So I did that, turned the lights off. And then, of course, when I'm actually ready to go to sleep, I can't sleep. So frustrating. So I, it was like 8 to be up at 4:30. So like 8 hours in which to sleep, So at one point I'm like, well, I'm not sleeping, so I might as well play my game again. Maybe that'll knock me out again. And it didn't. The bitch of it is, I know I finally fell asleep at like 3. To have to wake up at 4:30. I mean, I know I slept. I know it. So, going on all this to preface the fact that this is day 2. I gotta open again tomorrow. And so, I'm hoping to get some sleep. Jesus Christ. But, So today after work, I worked. Then I went downtown because so I had to go to the record store downtown because the new album from the band Viagra Boys, who I was turned on to because one of their records was one of the records of the month a couple years ago, and I really got into it. Not when I listened to it first time, because I played it and I remember nothing about that experience. Like, it didn't speak to me, just nothing. And then I randomly caught one of their videos like a year later. I was like, I really like this. Oh shit, I own this album. Oh shit. Why don't I remember this? This is cool. So I got into it then. So I got a new album out today called Welfare Jazz, because they're a Swedish band, and I have a feeling they take advantage of that country's relatively more robust social safety net in order to focus on music. So they don't, they probably get, so Welfare Jazz. But also, so I was going to go pick that up today. And when the owner of the record store stopped by my place of business, I was like, hey, we got to talking about Doom. MF Doom, who died he died in October, but whose death was announced to the world, last week. And consequently, all of his records have skyrocketed in price. Like, just people gouging like a motherfucker. So I was talking about it. I'd made a joke about it. I want the first album, and I want it cheap. And he's like, well, I actually have a couple copies of the first album that I, stashed away when he died, just to kind of hook up, to make available at, and he specifically said, for people like you, referring to me, like as a valued customer, I guess. But that was cool because, so he sold me the album for $25. It's a repress of the first Doom album, Operation Doomsday. Originally came out in 1999. I'm going to look up the particular pressing I have right now. To see how much it goes for, how much people are trying to sell it for on Discogs right now. Let's see. This is going to be Where is it? Which pressing is this? Is it a 20th anniversary? No, 2016 pressing, it looks like. I don't think it's colorful. Is this one? Alternate cover. Let's see. It's got to be that one. Okay. So, okay, because they're international. All right, so this album that I got is it's being sold relatively cheaply online. Let's see. All right. So he sold it to me for $25. However, we got people selling it for $60. Okay, so that one's not as gougy as the other one. It's still a good price. I want the album. What the fuck? Wow. What? So his 2004 album, Food, which I have the Vinyl Me Please pressing, the green and white one that comes with the stencil, which I paid, $23 for. Yeah, so that pressing, which originally I think the medium price had been about $60 before his death was announced. Cheapest one that people are selling online is $215. $215. So that's and that copy of Mad Villainy that I have, fuck, that's the one I have, which I paid $20 for a couple years ago. There it is. Yeah, cheapest one available for sale is $150, which it's not worth $150. I if this was the only way to get it, to listen to it, it would probably be worth $115, but it's not. So don't pay $115 for Mad Villainy, or do. I don't care. $150, but I won't be paying, especially because I already own it. So anyway, so I went to the record store and I got those, and I came home and I recorded these, and I took a shower and I recorded these, and now I got food in the microwave and I'm gonna eat some food because I'm fucking hungry. It's been 7 hours since I ate. Not much either, because I didn't bring lunch to work today. I'm just spilling all sorts of tea. I don't know what that means, but I'm doing it, spilling the tea. Oh, I'm loopy. Been hitting my pen, so you know. Tired. Stoned. Low blood sugar. About to remedy that shit, though, so. I'm going to leave you hanging. The absurdity of it. Who, it's funny. Nobody wants to listen to this. There's one person, and you know who you are, who will love this. Just me, blah, blah, blah. And everyone else, if anyone else ever listens to this, gets this far, and it's like, what the fuck? what the fuck? All right, man. I'm gonna go eat some food. Have a great night. And my shoes hurt.